it's one of the great things about the University of Florida is we have so many passionate Gators who want to support in traditional ways, but also are, think outside the box and want to be creative. And in this case, provided something very creative.
How much does this contribute just to improving the overall experience for not just football student athletes, but everyone at the University of Florida?
It touches so many parts, right? So you think about what we can do from a production standpoint for the things we're going to video boards or the social media videos we can do. You think about recruiting visits and having something a little unique and different for the pictures that kids like to take when they're on their visits. My guess is we are only scratching the surface of what the utilization of this thing could be, of what the swamp view could be. It's you're really limited only by your imagination.
How much do you enjoy the exclusivity of this, and that you guys are the only school in the country that has this, and probably will for a while?
Yeah, there's a lot of special things about being a Gator, right? And so it's not unlike our Gatorade relationship, right? We have a lot of toys from Gatorade that other schools don't get, just because we have the fuel truck.
Sure.
Some of the things they've done at some of our venues are unique to the University of Florida because of that relationship we have with them. This is akin to that, in that we have something here that's unique and special, and it's one of the benefits of being a Gator.
I asked Kev this, but if and when it gets to the point that bill gets passed and schools can help facilitate NIL deals, how much can this type of content help with that and just showcasing the athletes and telling their stories in a way that no other school can?
Yeah, again, I think you're only limited by your imagination. You think about, what when you're watching, some of the stuff that Disney's produced in their Star Wars series, recent, some of these mini-series that they've done. They're shooting all those in front of one of these big screens, and you look like you're in faraway lands and in space, and they're standing in front of a board just like this. And so you start thinking about where all could we take people while they're standing right here on campus.
When you first started seeing in college athletes coming and getting recruited, what were, like in Mississippi State when you were there, what were the lures then? What did you try to impress them with back in the day?
I think the steak dinners were always, back in the day, anywhere, it's like how much were you spending on the dinner and hotel accommodations. It's, it's evolved.
And now?
Yeah.
And it seems to just change exponentially. Like we're just joking. When will this be obsolete?
Yeah, there's always going to be something on the next level, but and the recruiting piece is big. But I think the first sport we've used content in our video boards is for gymnastics, and so you go to gymnastics meet, and a lot of the videos of the young ladies, of our gymnasts, they're shot in front of this thing. You can see it's so much more dynamic, and it looks like there's a lot of post-production, which is expensive. There's none because you can do it in real time.
What is it like to see where this entire space is at? Like a year ago, you guys were still trying to move in here, and now everyone's moved in, and you have a technology like this.
Yeah, it's we're fortunate that we have spaces like this we can convert. This is an old equipment storage area, and so the ability to because of the new Hebner Center, and we were able to move a lot of that stuff into the new building and recapture this space. One of the challenges was finding a spot big enough that we could where we could host this thing, and so Chip Howard and his team did a great job identifying this location. We're not done finishing this out. I think eventually this is going to feel like a sound studio with all the appropriate sound baffles and equipment that you need to run a full-on production house right here on our campus.
Obviously, Coach Napier understands the value of recruiting content, multimedia content. What was his reaction were you here when he first saw this?
I don't know if I was here when he first saw it, but and again, we were telling him what it was, and I don't think he quite grasped it until it's hard to visualize just based on descriptions. You almost have to see it to fully understand and comprehend what it is.
Do you think the average fan appreciates how important this component is in recruiting kids these days, and the whole social media and having something to post, as opposed to just, hey, well, if they love the school, they'll sign here. But stuff like this, how it does make a difference?
I think the relationships are still really important in recruiting, but we want to do everything first class, and I think this is something that's unique, helps you stand out. At the end of the day, it's going to be the relationships. It's going to be there's in recruiting, there are still some real fundamentals. Location, who your coaches are going to be, facilities, the academics. But these are the kind of things I think that just kind of create a sense of place being special and having quality, and in this case being unique.
Do you kind of see this as a microcosm in a sense of the Florida athletic program setting themselves apart, state of the art?
Yeah, it goes back to what I said about Gator AD or any of the other, the Hebner Centers. Obviously, we feel really proud of it. We think it sets us apart as well. There's so many areas like that. The Hawkins Center, what we're doing in the Conjuring Dining Hall. But this is something unique that everybody has a dining hall, everybody has an academic center. We think ours are the best, but this is something no one else has, and so we know it's the best.